NHL regular season recap night 52, 13 games tonight, and the first of which was an ugly one between Dallas and Tampa Bay. Dallas scores 3 goals on 11 shots in the first period, another 3 on 14 in the second, and 2 on 9 in the third. A bad goaltending performance from both Vasi and Jonas Johansson. Jake Ottinger stops 32 of 33 for the W. It's an 8-1 final. Game 2, the Jets taking on the Blackhawks, and no real surprise here, Connor Hellebuyck versus Arvid Soderblom. Jets coming off a 3-game losing streak. They win this one by a final of 3-1. Bedard does score his 11th, but aside from that, that's really the only high note for the Blackhawks. Soderblom gives up 3 on 28. Hellebuyck gives up 1 on 21. Goals for the Jets from Scheifele, Barron, and Perfetti. Pretty solid performance from the Jets here. Not really any surprises in this one. Game 3, the Predators taking on the Rangers, and it looked like the Preds were going to run away with this one. They scored 3 of the first 4 goals in the game, including the first 2 in the first period. But after Colton Sissons scored in the second to make it 3-1, it was really all Rangers. Goals for the Preds from O'Reilly, Yossi, and Sissons. For the Rangers, it was Trouba to make it 2-1 before it was 3-1, and then Kreider and Trocheck tie it in the second. In the third, Ryan Lindgren with his first of the year makes it a 4-3 game, and that is how the score would stick. Shesterkin was great in this one, stopping 38 of 41, while Kevin Lankinen stops just 23 of 27, so Nashville's goaltending continues to struggle a good bit, but nonetheless, the Rangers stay hot. The Preds continue to stay right in the middle of the pack. The Islanders taking on the Florida Panthers, and this one was a bit of a surprising outcome. The Islanders end up getting it done. 4-3 was the final. Ilya Sorokin, as expected in a game like this, had to be fantastic, and he was just that, stopping 42 of 45. Anthony Stolar stops just 23 of 27, so very similar there to the previous game for the Preds. For the Islanders, it's Lee, Engvall, Holmstrom, and Gauthier with his first of the year. For the Panthers, Reinhart, Kachuk, and Verhaeghe. A pretty close game, pretty entertaining. Florida really deserved to win, I think, but sometimes you get goal lead, and that was exactly what happened here. It's a 4-3 win for the Islanders and Ilya Sorokin. The Red Wings taking on the Montreal Canadiens, and this game was all Red Wings early. They scored the first 3 goals of the game, all in the first period, outshooting the Canadiens 11-7, but Justin Barron gets one with just 7 seconds left in the first, and slowly but surely the Canadiens scratched and clawed their way all the way back to tie the game up with about 4 minutes to play in the third. But in the overtime, Jake Wallman just rips one past Jake Allen, who, no screen, no deflection, kind of a shot you'd like back. But of course, Jake Wallman buries it, gritties his way to victory as usual. It's a 5-4 overtime final for the Red Wings. This is a pretty entertaining one. Neither goalie was great. Husso stopping 26 of 30, Allen stopping 28 of 33, and the Red Wings continue to find their way in a playoff spot in this Atlantic Division. A classic matchup between the Bruins and Maple Leafs, and the big guns were out and active in this game. David Pastrnak with a goal and 2 assists, Austin Matthews with 2 goals, Brad Marchand with a goal. Both goalies fantastic, Allmark stopping 37 of 40, Woll stopping 33 of 37. This game, as per usual between these two teams, goes all the way to overtime, where with just 8 seconds left in the OT, a just mess in front. David Pastrnak gets a breakaway, Joe Woll makes a save, Morgan Riley kind of overchases the breakaway from Pasta. The puck gets flipped up and over Joseph Woll, where Marchand gloves it down, has pretty much the whole net to shoot at, and scores the overtime game winner. It's a 4-3 final for Boston in what was a very hard-fought and entertaining game here. The Senators taking on the Kraken, and the Sens finally get on the right side of the win column here, thanks in large part to a marvelous performance from Anton Forsberg, who stops 39 of 39 Kraken shots. For the Sens, Matteo Joseph and Drake Batherson with the only 2 goals. For the Seattle Kraken, I thought it was Grubauer. Joey Decord in net stops 26 of 28. He was really good too. Hard to blame the guy when your team doesn't score a single goal, but what else is new for Seattle? This has been the issue for them for large parts of the season. For the Sens, it's a really big win. They need to start climbing pretty quickly if they want any hope or prayer of making the playoffs, but you got to start somewhere. A 2-0 win is not a bad place to do that. Anton Forsberg, the first star in this one. The Sabres visiting the Carolina Hurricanes. Both of these teams have had pretty big goaltending problems throughout the year, but tonight only one team had that, and it was Buffalo. They get outshot 35-22 and give up 6 goals. So not the best from the Sabres. Pyotr Kochetkov for the Hurricanes was decent, stopping 20 of 22. Comrie stopping just 29 of 35. So really not a great performance from him. Sebastian Aho with 2 goals. Brett Burns 2 assists. Teravainen with a goal and an assist. Drury, Nason, Shea all with goals as well. For the Sabres, it's just Middlestat and Tyson Jost. The Sabres got to do something. I don't know if there's a trade out there to be made for them, but The goaltending is just not getting it done right now. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is really the only guy giving them competent goaltending at all. Hopefully Devin Levi getting some time in the AHL will be helpful, but for now, they're just struggling quite a bit, and this is a good example of that, a 6-2 win for the Hurricanes, who once again popped back to the correct side of the win column for them. The Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the Philadelphia Flyers in not just the Battle of Pennsylvania, but also the battle for 5th in the Metro Division. Did not see that phrase coming before we started the year, but here we are. No goals in the first period. Chris Letang opens things up in the second before Owen Tippett ties it. Before we head to the third, where there are 4 goals, Gensel, Lawton, Forster, and Gensel once again forces us to OT where nothing gets solved, so we head to the shootout where Sean Couturier with a nice little move on Tristan Jarry wraps things up. It's a 4-3 shootout win for the Flyers. Both goalies pretty good in this one. The Flyers threw in Sam Ersson, and he performed pretty well, stopping 29 of 32. Tristan Jarry continues his very strong season, stopping 31 of 34, but the shootout's the shootout. Weird stuff happens, and it's a 4-3 win for Philly. The Arizona Coyotes taking on the St. Louis Blues, and I'll give you guys one guess at who was really, really good tonight, as usual. Ready? Yep. Good. Connor Ingram. Perfect. The Coyotes win this one by a score of 4-1. Carcone, Schmaltz, Michelli, and Kerfoot with the 4 goals there. Brendan Saad with the lone goal for the Blues. The beat goes on for the Arizona Coyotes and Connor Ingram, who continues to put together a fantastic season. The Caps taking on the Vegas Golden Knights in this game looked much more like the Capitals that we all know and love from this season. Just completely blown out of the water in the first 2 periods. It's 2-0 after 2, but they were really just getting walked all over. Shots after the first 10-5, and after the second, 18-4 in the second. Just not pretty. They come back a bit in the third, 13-8 in the shots there, but by then the game's pretty much over. Darcy Kemper's just exhausted. Goals for the Vegas Golden Knights from Marchessault, Eichel, Stone, and a second from Marchessault at the empty net. Tom Wilson continues to stay hot with his 8th of the year, but too little too late, a 4-1 final in favor of Vegas. The Avs taking on the Ducks in what was a very entertaining game. Bo Byram with 2 goals in the first. Adam Henrique and Devin Taves follow those up, making it 3-1 Avs after 1. In the second, though, Leo Carlsson and Alex Killorn tied things up 3-3. No goals in the third and none in overtime, but it was a pretty exciting overtime. We head to the shootout where Leo Carlsson sends Ivan Prosvetov's Jock to the moon. I mean, just look at this. Where is he going? Anyway, that ends up being the game winner. Mikko Rantanen could not score to tie it up. All 3 shooters for the Avs get stopped by John Gibson, who had a fantastic game, stopping 34 of 37. Prosvetov, funny enough, also stopping 34 of 37, but giving up the 1 extra to Carlson in the shootout when he damn near ended his life. It's a 4-3 shootout win for the Ducks. Last game of the night, the Flames taking on the Vancouver Canucks in what was yet another very entertaining game. The first period, Quinn Hughes, Sam Lafferty, and Michael Backlund are the goal scorers. In the second, no goals until about 30 seconds to play, where Ilya Mikheyev makes it 3-1, headed to the third. At this point, Demko had stopped, I believe, 14 of 15, 15 of 16, something along those lines. He looked pretty good, but in the third period, the wheels fell off just a bit. He gives up 1 to Lindholm with about 4.5 to play. The net gets emptied by the Flames. It looks like Zadorov has scored against his former team, but it turns out Pettersson got just enough of it with his stick blade. It's his empty net goal, making it 4-2, and then Lindholm gets one more, doing everything he can to try to scratch and claw his way back into the game, but not quite enough. Again, Demko stopping 20 of 23, and Markstrom stopping 18 of 21. That's it for NHL regular season recap. Night 52, a 4-3 win for the Canucks, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for 5 games on night 53.